Welcome back, family, to Northside LDN Caramba. And today we've got news of Berta being officially signed to Arsenal, the new sporting director. And yeah, good news. Good news. I'm very happy with Berta's appointment. Um, I still question how much power he's going to have over our transfers that we're going to get uh, coming up to the summer. We know that we need a massive rebuild. There's a lot of problems at Arsenal, a lot of players that shouldn't be staying at Arsenal. We've got a lot of players that are running down their contracts. Partey, players like that will not be here. Tierney will not be here next season. There's a lot to do. There's definitely a lot to do. But before we get into all of that, make sure you're liking and subscribing, hitting the bell notification, supporting the channel, doing all that good stuff. Road to 17K. Let's make sure we do that. Big up to everyone that's locked in. And Andrea Berta, great CV, won major honours, worked well with Simeone, wasn't scared to challenge Simeone, which is something that we need for Arteta because I don't think his player ID has been that great. When you look at some of the players that Arteta's brought through, Fabio Vieira, not good enough. Mikel Moreno, not good enough. Calafiori, not good enough, underwhelming. Trusty, he wasn't good enough. Karl Hein, players like, Ramsdale, Zinchenko, Jesus, numerous players that we've brought into this team, not good enough. Not good enough to get us to where we need to be, not good enough to get us over the line. And for me, Berta, I want Berta to have the power to make the hard decisions and to be able to overrule what Arteta wants. There was a lot of rumours out there that Edu wanted to. The reason Edu left for Nottingham Forest is because Arteta was getting the final say on decisions, and if that's the case, there is no point appointing a sporting director if he's not going to be able to have the power to get over the line the players that he wants. And he's got enough credentials. He's won more in the game than Arteta. He's been in the game longer than Arteta in his role. And hopefully we're not getting another yes man. I'm very skeptical about if he'll be given the power, but this is the kind of sporting director that I can believe in. I can believe in a sporting director that's able to get Griezmann back to Atletico, able to see Suarez, and see that he still has talent and bring him to Atletico, and then go on to win the league with Suarez and the team. Able to identify Rodri. I think it's already, a lot of Arsenal fans were already expecting this. Ain't something that we didn't expect. We're just waiting for when it would be announced. But at the same time, Arteta, he needs to stick to managing the team. Me personally, I don't want Arteta at the club. I want him out. But Berta's got a lot of work to do. I mean, Marquinhos, we loaned him back out to Brazil in January. That's a player we need to move on. What we played £3-4 million for him to sign on. Haven't seen anything. Hasn't taken the Brazilian league by storm. A player that's not even a starter out in Brazil, and we're expecting him to come to Arsenal and do what? Not good enough. Nun Davaj is another player out on loan. We need to move him on. We didn't break the bank to bring him in, but we have to move him on. There's no future for Sambi Lokonga at Arsenal, in my opinion. This is just players that are loaned out. Nun as well, having a decent season for Lazio. We need to use that to our advantage and get some money in for Nun and let him go. I don't think Nun another player that doesn't make us go forward. He doesn't get in the team over Timber at left back, Skelly at left back. So another player, we need to utilize the fact that he's having a decent loan spell with Lazio and let him go. Karl Hein needs to be moved on, not good enough. Neto, another one that's going to be going back, not good enough. So we definitely need a backup goalkeeper. When you're looking at the team, starting from the back, goalkeeper, we need a backup goalkeeper. We need a top backup goalkeeper. We need a centre back just in case anything happens with our centre backs, just like what's happened with Saka this season. If any of our centre backs are out of form or have a massive injury, to get them out of the game for a long time, we need centre back pairing or some centre back that could fill in, potentially try and fight to start in the team. We definitely need another fullback. If you start Timber at left back and Ben White at right back. You've got Skelly that can, you know, rotate with Timber at left back if that's what we decide to do. But at right back, who have we got to rotate? If Timber's out, all of a sudden you don't have a right back to play in the right back area. So we need another fullback. So we have, you know, two good rotations in the fullback areas. Getting rid of Thomas Partey, we do need another central midfielder that's able to, you know, that has the passing range and are able to start a counter attack or link the defense to the attack. That we get from Thomas Partey, that we don't get from Declan Rice, we don't get from Moreno. So that's something that we have to look into. We need another number 10 that this manager, that is levels above Odegaard, or that this manager actually believes in, because Skelly has been used sparingly this season. Ethan has been used sparingly this season in the number 10 position. So we need a number 10, ideally, that puts Odegaard on the bench. We also need a left back, ideally two left backs. Trossard looks like he's not interested in, you know, playing under this manager, which I understand. And Martinelli's he's not progressed. So ideally we need two left backs, really and truly, but minimum one left back. We need a right winger. Sterling's going to go back to Chelsea. We need a right winger that can actually compete and can actually fight to get into the team. We need a striker, ideally two strikers, because Jesus is injury prone, so we have to get rid of him, and he's on big wages, 240,000 a week. I don't think that's value for money. Kai Havertz on 260, not good enough. Not good enough, especially for that money. 100% not good enough. So we need to get rid of Kai Havertz as well. There's a lot of work for Berta. There's a lot of work, and this is supposed to be phase 5. It's an absolute shambles. It's an absolute shambles the way the team has been built. You know, way too many defensive players on the bench, not enough rotation in key areas, or players that can compete. For a star, I would ideally want players like Wirtz that puts Odegaard straight away on the bench. I like players like Isak that put Havertz straight away on the bench. I think the way you build a team is you get players that are better than what you've got. And if you can't get players that are better than what you've got, you at least get players that, you know, it's a debate and it's a headache for the manager as to what starting lineup he's going to put out, because those players are ready to take that spot from the starting 11. And that's what we need to do right now. We're not in a situation where we need to keep, where we need to buy players for the future. At the end of the day, this project's, you know, going on to phase 6, which I never even wanted to see phase 1, to be completely honest. We need players to win right now. There's no more excuses. Can't be using injuries. Can't be using we need time, we need to build and stuff like that. We have to get over the line. You know, arguably this manager, for me, has had enough time. You know, people said it took Klopp 4 years. Arteta's now going on to his 6th year once he keeps his job this season, just because we're getting Champions League football. For me, that's a disgrace. I think Berta, at the end of the day, we brought him in because of his work that he's done at Atletico. Then we need to let him do his work. I do think that kind of experience, I find it funny that a lot of this fan base want an experienced sporting director but don't want an experienced manager. Makes no sense to me. They want a sporting director with credentials, that's won trophies, that's gotten over the line, but they don't want a manager with the same criteria. Doesn't make any sense to me. I completely don't understand. And I think we've become very stagnant, this team. Berta's got, you know, a lot on his hands. I mean, we need to get players that, you know, have that, you know, a world-class or bordering world-class ability. That's what we need. That is what we need. And if we don't address that, then it's going to be the same nonsense. We need an Isak. We need a Gyökeres. We need a number 10 that's going to turn up in the big games and get us over the line, has winning experience, that has the qualities. And I think Wirtz is a player like that. I think we need a player like, you know, we need some smart business as well. Obviously, we got 250 to 300 million to spend. We have to spend that. We have to spend that. You know, we have to spend that. If we're going to get a top striker, that's going to eat into a lot of the budget. We have to sell well as well to raise more funds. And we've got a lot of players going. A lot of the wage bill is, we're going to get a lot of players off the wage bill. If we sell all the players that we need and the players that are going, we can save ourselves 700 to 800,000 a week in just in player sales. So Berta's not coming into a situation. He's got this definitely the foundation here in terms of you've got a very good centre back pairing. You've got good fullbacks, defensive fullbacks in Skelly, Timber, and Ben White. So there is a basis that he has to build upon. You've got Declan Rice. That's a good DM. You got Saka. That's a very good right winger. So you've got some players there that you can work around, and I think if we allow him to get the players that he needs over the line, then we can see. I think I would love to see him clashing with Arteta, because at the end of the day, Arteta's player ID and the players that he wanted has been very, very, very questionable. Moreno, for me, if he's starting next season, you best believe our midfield is going to be looking even worse than this year, because he's shocking, Moreno. He's shocking. You know what I mean? His the way he wins back possession of the ball is shocking. He's not great at winning the ball back. He's not great at shooting the back line. He's not great at dribbling. He's not a great passer. Shocking for me. When you look at Calafiori, it's not even close. When you look at Calafiori and you look at Skelly, and it's embarrassing. The kid's just come through the academy and he's already putting you to shame like that. So for me, I'd really love Berta to get rid of Calafiori and Moreno already. I've seen enough. I don't need to see any more. I know what attributes players need for certain positions, and they just don't have the attributes to hold down those positions. I'd love to see him get rid of a lot of the loan players, if not all of them. I'd love to see him get rid of all of this bench, barring Ethan and Skelly if he's on the bench, and just getting top players. The club doesn't have to break the transfer record every single time they sell players. Just get the right players in. I'm not so concerned in terms of the money spent. Just get me the quality. And Bert has shown that in being shrewd and getting Rodri over the line for 20M. So every signing doesn't need to be a blockbuster signing. Just get me top quality signings. If we sign a player for 40Ms or 30Ms and they become a top player, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? We just need quality. And for me, we will see how we handle Berta. Let's see if the Cronkies are changing, and if they're going to, if going for Berta is them starting to strip Arteta a lot of his power and trying to get people that are specialists in those positions instead of putting it all onto Arteta. But we will see. We will see. All in all, I'm happy Berta's at Arsenal. Hopefully he can raise the standards and raise the levels from what he's learned at Letty. And for me, the fact that we got Berta, that's one, got over the line and is building a certain team in his image. Sack Arteta at the end of the season and go and get me Simeone. Why not? If you love Berta, you have to love Simeone. The trophies on his CV are due to Simeone's management of the team. So if they work hand in hand together perfectly, go get Simeone. Throw the book at him. Say, listen, come get a new. If you want a new challenge, we will throw money at it. You'll get the support that Arteta got. You got Berta here. You've worked with him. Why not? You can't tell me you like Berta and you don't like Simeone. It makes no sense. For everything that you will load up Berta, you have to load up Simeone. It goes hand in hand. They won it together. They did it together. So it is what it is, man. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. And I'm out from here. Love, love, love.